Hi everybody, this is the second part of the video on decimals. Okay, we'll do a quick revision of what we have done in the first video. But you need to understand, to learn decimals you need to understand place value of decimal numbers. Okay, a fraction whose denominator is 10, 100, 1000 is called a decimal fraction. Place value of any digit of a number shows the place value or position of the digit in the number. So in beginning you had learned place value ones, tens, 100, 1000, and you can see the arrow. As you move from your right hand side to your left hand side, the digits become bigger, 10 times bigger. Okay. But the place value written after the decimal point is named from left to right. So here you can see the arrow from left hand side to right hand side. When you keep moving, that is the time the place value becomes 10 times smaller. So you have 10th, 100th, okay, 10th, 100th, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, millionth. So you will find TH written, the difference. Here you will see tens and then tenth, then you have 100th. So that TH you will find 100 is written HUNDREDS. Here you will find HUNDREDTHS. So that is the difference. Now let us look at this table and observe and find the place value of 8 and 2. So here you can see a figure is written 3684.26. So how do you read it? Always remember, after the decimal point the numbers are written. Read separately. You don't read it as 26, you read it as 26. So what is the place value of 8? 8 is here. You will see the place value of 8 is tens, and the place value of 2 is tenth. TENTH. Now, fractions and decimals are similar because they both are ways to express partial numbers. Okay, a part of something they express. Fractions can be expressed as decimals by dividing. Example, 3/4 is an equivalent fraction or equal to 3 divided by 4, or when you divide this you get 0.75, which you'll learn later. Now there's an example given here. How to read this? A figure is given 456.3. So let us see the place value. 4 falls under hundreds place, 5 tens, 6 ones, and 3 after the decimal point is 1/10 or tenth. Okay, and then we do the expanded form. 400 plus 50 plus 6 plus, since it is 3, so 3/10, and then we bring, when we add this 400 plus 50 plus 6 you get 456, and just bring this down 3/10. So this is how you can say that fractions and decimals are related. Another example where there is no whole number, so we just write 0.76. 0 falls under ones place, then 10th, 100th, then expanded form 7 tenth, 6 100th, and then 7 upon 10 plus 6 upon 100. Then you can change this, okay, make it equal fractions, equivalent fractions, and then add this, it becomes 76 upon 100, which is equivalent to 0.76. Now we come to how to compare fractions. To compare decimals, we must first understand equivalent decimals. Now, just before this we had learnt about equivalent, how it is equivalent. Here there are examples also where you have 10th, 100th, thousands place. Okay, so 0.6 is equal to 6 upon 10, which is equal to 6 upon 10. So 0.60 is equal to 60 upon 100. When you reduce this, you get again 6 upon 10. So then you can say that all these fractions are equivalent. Same thing here also. 7 upon 10. When fractions, okay, is given. Here decimals were given. Now fractions are given. 7 upon 10, which is equal to 70 upon 100, which is equal to 700 upon 1000. When you reduce all this, you get 0.7, 0.70 is equal to 0.7. They are all called equivalent decimals. And when we insert zeros after the last decimal digit, remember when you insert zeros here you don't have a zero, you have a zero here, you have two zeros. Okay, the decimal, the value does not change. Remember, these are all equal, but the value does not change. Like and unlike decimals. Like decimals have the same number of decimal places. Now, what does it mean? Examples are given. 25.3. Okay, you need to see after the decimal point how many places are there. Just one. So 145.7, just one place. Like this, 0.3. So when you have exact the same number of decimal places, then they are called like decimals. Unlike decimals do not have the same number of decimal places. For example, 34.82, you have two decimal places here. 1.923, that means three decimal places here. And 0.8, just one here. So they are called unlike decimals. Now, how to convert unlike decimals to like decimals? Okay, there are steps which you need to follow. Find the number with the maximum number of decimal places. So find the number, okay, the decimal number which has the maximum. Okay, for example, if you see these three numbers, this is the maximum, 1.923. So first you need to find that. Okay, then what do? Add zeros on the extreme right side of the decimals. So an example is given: 4.1, 23.46, 80.257. So what did the first point say? Find the maximum number of decimal places. So here you have one place, two places, here three places. So, and then what do you do next? Add zeros. So add two zeros and make it three decimal places. Add one zero and make it three decimal places. And you don't need to add. And then you will find that they become like fractions. Now, how to compare and order decimals? Order means ascending order or descending order. Here you have already compared like and unlike. Now, how to arrange them in ascending and descending? Example is given: 723.1, 843.56, 7.987. Now, how do you write it in ascending order and descending? Ascending means small to big, descending means big to small. So, what do we do first? First, convert all the decimal numbers to like decimals. Just now I already explained. What is the first point? Find the number of places after the decimal. Maximum is 3. Then convert it by adding zeros. Okay, 723.100. So add zeros and make it exactly the same number of places. 843.560 and then 7.987. Then what do you do? Okay, here you can see. First compare the whole numbers. Okay, these are the whole numbers before the decimal point. So you see which is smallest. Since 7 is smallest, so 7.987. Then comes 723. Then comes 843. Likewise. So that is ascending order, descending order, big to small. 843.560, 723.100, and 7.987. That is the descending order. Another example is given without the whole numbers: 0.79, 0.777, and 0.7. What do you do first? Make them like fractions. See the maximum number of places. Okay, and add the zeros and make it exactly the same. So it becomes 0.790, 0.77 will remain the same, and 0.700. And then after that, then you see the first decimal place value. Okay, 7, since they are all same. Then you see the next one. You go to the next. That is the 100th place. Since it is 9, so it is the biggest. Then you have 7. And then 0. So then this comes first. Since it is ascending order, means small to big. So this is the smallest, 0.700. Then comes 0.777 and then 0. And likewise for descending order is just the opposite, big to small. Now, conversion of fractions to decimals. How do you convert a fraction to a decimal. Fractions whose denominators are 10, 100, 1000 can easily be converted to decimals by putting a decimal point in the numerator accordingly. Now, an example is given here. 3/10, okay, is equal to 0.3. Now, how did you get it? You just write the numerator here, 3, without this. And then after that, you know a whole number has a point at the end. Okay, and then shift the decimal. Since there is 1 0, you shift one place. So you get 0.3. Same thing for 17 upon 10. Okay, just write 17 there. And then from the end of the number, a whole number has a decimal point at the end. Shift it one place. So it becomes 1.7. Same thing for 217. Since there is 1 0, we shift one place. Then we come to the next example. 5 upon 100. Okay, you just write 5 and then you need to shift two places. So since there is no number there, you put a 0 and you shift it two places. So you get 0.05. Likewise, for 17, 0.17. Write 17 and shift it two places since there are two zeros. Okay. Then 217, you just write it there. And then since there are two zeros, you shift it two places. Then for thousands also, you need to shift three places. Just as you shifted one place there, two places here. For thousands, you shift three places. When there are no places, since there is only 7, when you write 7, one place you shift. So you need to shift two more places. That's the time you add zeros. When there are no numbers in front. And same thing here, 3 places and then 3 places. So this is how you convert fractions to decimals. Now the same thing when you convert decimals to fraction. When there is a decimal, you need to convert it to a fraction. You just shift it. Okay, remove the decimal point and at the same time write in the denominator as many zeros to the right of 1 as there are digits in the decimal part. So when you just write 3 and then put the division line, write 1 as it is written, write 1, and as you shift one place, you add 1 0. If you shift two places, add 2 zeros. If you shift 3 places, add 3 zeros. So like this, there are 3 examples. You can see, for example, in 1.7, you're shifting one place, so you get 17 upon 10. Okay. Now you have 0.17, so you need to shift 2 places, so you add 2 zeros after 1. Then you have 0.017, when you shift 3 places, you add 3 zeros after 1.